beautiful hearts. We are here to open our hearts. And today we are being assisted by the beautiful Zazar, who is channeled by Marilyn Gewacke. And this is beautiful because it's Arcturian, and I'm certain that you can sense the energies already. Marilyn Gewacke, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Well, it is a pleasure, Lauren, to be here. And I love that it says, Welcome, beautiful hearts, because Zazar is all about that, and so am I.
You are a beautiful heart, and actually, I can see Zazar's image right behind you.
Yes.
There's a resemblance. I wonder if anyone else picks up a resemblance. Is that because, I don't know, why would you say that there's a resemblance? As you're a channel of him, maybe his frequency comes through. Can you talk about that?
Well, his frequency definitely comes through, and it feels like more and more we're merged in our vibrations. And so, what you may be picking up is you're able to see the vibrations coming off of him and me, and our vibrations are very merged and similar now. And it's been quite a process. I've been channeling him for 10 years, but it turns out I've known him a lot longer than that. And he is probably the most, well, there's no probably, incredible being I have ever had the pleasure of being with. Lauren, I feel blessed every day that I get to channel this wonder.
And we thank you for sharing the channelings because that's very important. Many are starting to feel energies in a new way and begin to receive messages. And it's the sharing of those messages that are the most beneficial for humanity. So that's why I thank you for being bold. That may not have been so easy. So why don't you, as we start, take us back to how you began to channel 10 years ago, you said, but then there was a remembrance, there was a familiarity there. So share that story with us. How did you recognize or begin to channel Zazar?
Well, I'll tell you, Lauren, I knew that information came through me. My first book I wrote, a lot of downloads came in. It would take me 3 hours to decipher some of the visions that would come in. And it was a book on the oneness of being, creating the new human. It was more from a psychological, spiritual point of view. But I knew information came in, I knew energy came in. And then Zazar came in 10 years ago, and I felt this enormous energy that was different than mine. And for a while, the information was so wonderful. I said, wow, I have a really incredible higher self that's just bringing in this information. But it soon became really obvious that this was a being from another system, another dimension, and he would prod me along. The first 2 years that Zazar came out, he put me in a classroom. I had been a clinical psychologist all of my life and dealt with all the little traumas and big traumas that humans go through. He said, you're going to have to give that up because there's a new way, a new reality to help people lift into the light. But first, we're going to work on you for 2 years. And so that I would develop the grace and the strength and the courage to switch out of the mainstream psychology of all things into becoming a channeler of this amazing being. And once I stopped doubting who this being was, he began to tell me more and more about where he was from. Zazar is a mix of galactic ET, which galactic elfin being, Arcturian, and Pleiadian. When you get so high in a light body evolved, you can choose a genome, and he chose those three because it gave him this beautiful body that enables me to channel him because he's in a sixth dimensional body as he comes into me. So and his galactic elfin part of him is so wonderful. It's very magical. It's very humorous, which he feels humor helps humans open up and learn. So I began to know more about him as I channeled. And then he said, now let's get down to business because I have so much information about what's happening on Earth this time. Lauren, I used to say to him, why didn't you come in 20 years before now? And when I was a lot younger, and he said, because Earth is ready now. It has to happen now. There's so much happening on Earth. And humans are going towards the Great Awakening. And so his information is crucial. You know, by the way, I asked him, were there channel beings back in the ancient advanced civilizations? And he said no, because the galactics were with beings walking with them on Earth, helping them build the pyramids and Stonehenge and so forth and so on, Atlantis, Lemuria. But now, as humans are uncovering and dissolving their veils, they're reconnecting to this larger reality that's around us and able to bring in these higher beings and their message for this time.
That is so wonderful. And I just want to share how it relates to our world and the bigger picture. I love how they didn't need to channel back in those days because that was another golden age. That was when God's walked on earth. I'm reading a book about that now in the yugas, okay? And so I just love this. And so that's why Earth is ready now. We are ready now. And so thank you both for doing that and sharing this incredible wisdom. So we're going to dive in with you, and there's some things that we're going to talk about. I just love your galacticness about you. Like your whole life, you went on board a teaching craft. That's fascinating. And your father escorted you to the craft. We want to hear that story,
Well,
please.
it's a good one. It's an important story, and Zazar keeps telling me in the past, he said, you can't keep this secret because as I tell the story right now to your viewers, it may ring bells of memory in them because I have a feeling a lot of humans not only have been on this teaching craft as children, but still go on craft at night in their dream states. That's partly what disclosure is all about right now. When I was little, from 3 till 10 years old, my biological father took me on a craft. We'd go out to the fields of Nebraska. I'd see craft in the daylight. They would come and hover, all different shapes, cigar shapes, saucer shapes. And I remember those memories I never lost of seeing the craft. However, oftentimes a light would come, and the next thing I know, I was on the craft with my father. He would exit, and it was hundreds of children were on this craft. Now I know it was a children's teaching craft. Lots and lots of human children, but also extraterrestrial children we got to play with in our recess time. But Lauren, on this craft, I learned about consciousness expansion, how my consciousness could create music and could create paintings on a screen just from my consciousness. But one of the best things was being in the classroom with other human children, and we loved each other, we liked each other, there was no separation, we rooted for each other. When somebody discovered a gift, we were all excited for each other. Very different than most schools, most human children grow up in. And then I got to play with extraterrestrial children, which was just grand. And we learned telepathy, we learned bilocation. So this was from 3 to 10. And my father was a lawyer by trade. I was a psychologist by trade, both in the mainstream, but that's not how I knew my father. And it turns out it's in lineage. It was before him. There was some evidence in the family line of these unusual things, but I didn't remember the specifics of being on the craft until before Zazar came out. I started having a lot of memories. And back in 2008, I actually got a phone call from the Galactics on my flip phone in the dentist office, and the phone had music coming out of it. It was projected all over the dentist office. It was a big office. And this music, it sounded like from the heavens, came in. Even the head dentist was running around going, "What happened to our music? It sounds like a spacecraft landing." The, t-
Wow.
the tech told me, I don't know why I'm saying this, but would you look in your phone? I went to my purse, opened my flip phone. Now, you can't send music back then, you can't send pictures. Lauren, on my phone is a picture of a spacecraft, and the music is being projected from my phone on all the speaker system. To this day, no techie can tell me how that could happen, even now, let alone back then, unless there's Bluetooth now. But there wasn't any of these things. Well, it happened 4 times. I took it to Verizon. The guy looked at my records. I had the time and dates when these calls came in, the same music, the same picture. He came out like 30 minutes later and said, "Ma'am, what came into your phone was not created by humans." That's all he said. And I knew then something clicked, and I started having memories of being on the craft. I started remembering all these consciousness experiences on the craft. I remember standing in line, having to go back down to earth, saying to myself, "Oh my God, I have to shrink my consciousness once again." But I did have all these memories come up, and then Zazar came. And then I realized I had met Zazar on the craft as a child. And I was really being prepared from a little girl to channel this incredible being and the information and to become the new human as best I can from everything he teaches. So that's why I'm here today.
Wow. So let's just talk a little about like aging. So when you were on the craft as a child and you met Zazar, is he ageless? Does he
It
age
sure appears that way. I mean, he said that other species live hundreds and hundreds of years. Our DNA, before it got mutated by all the things we've done on this planet that aren't good, we should live at least till 200, if not into the 200s. But many species, their genomes are so perfected, they live hundreds, as long as they want to occupy that body. Zazar says he can be in this body as long as he wants to be. Sometimes they'll change bodies with a new genome depending on what new mission they're on. I mean, these realities are just amazing, and we're just finding out about them, which hopefully motivates us as humans to take better care of ourselves, understand how to live in higher vibrations. There is no reason for us to have such ailments that we do, let alone war and division. So Zazar's biggest message is for us to realize the incredibleness of the human heart and the human soul and its light. And when we can gather with our light together, separation ends. And what will produce then is a brand new world.
I love that so much. Okay, so let's talk about the sacred technology of the human body. And maybe Zazar could channel this or answer some of this as well. But what do you know? Because we know that the heart is so powerful. Zazar is confirming that as well. And so to live in the heart fully like that, what do you think? Um, why is that so tough for people? Have you ever contemplated this?
Oh, yes. Well, what informed me so much was being a psychologist. We learn to protect our heart. We
Yeah.
learn that we're not enough, that we're separated from each other, and our main job is to figure out how to survive and try to find love. And so our heart has always been guarded. And pretty much because of that, we've been in disharmony with our own heart. We've been in incoherence with our heart. The biggest thing we can do is to realize our heart is the leader We have tried to get along through our mind fields, but it is our heart field connected to our soul that really is going to pave the way for this new time of awakening. And even our biologists and scientists understand that when you are in total heart coherence, the nervous system calms down. The chemistry of the brain produces soothing chemistry. When the heart is in coherence and the heart moves out with higher vibrations like love, joy, peace, and unity, it the our scientists say it travels 28 meters. Zazar goes, it travels around the world. We just don't have the devices yet to show how the heart can manifest these healing vibrations, Lauren, that when we raise it to a certain level, will be the healer. The heart will be the doctor of the new age.
That is worthy of writing it down on a sticky note, beautiful hearts who are watching. The heart is the healer.
The
Wow.
heart, and as we, what we do when we have retreats, it becomes one heart party. People feel safe. People feel safe to embrace. They feel safe to love, to like, to light each other up. And the power of being in a unity community where the heart is the leader and all those veils that have covered the heart. Guess what happens? When the heart is in a group of humans, corridors open to other realities. We get to travel, to learn by location, to learn to be telepathic with each other. And we have all these gifts. They're our birthright, but they've been covered over because of the veiling of our heart.
All right. So the skills of telepathy, bilocation, all of that is accessed through the power of love, the frequency of love, the open heart.
Exactly. And we've been deprived of that because we've been in survival mode, not thrival, but survival. And when we're in survival mode, we're always watching for dangers. And we have so many dangers now that aren't even about just physical safety, but emotional safety. So people are guarding their heart. What does that do? That takes the fuel from the soul light out of the picture. And so we're no longer guided by this wisdom. And Lauren, when we've come into this life, we carry a mission with us. We carry these incredible gifts. When the heart is covered over, we don't have access to knowing the truth. Because why? The heart produces a vibrational river that connects with the light of the soul. And the soul light connects with all that is. And then we have access to the multidimensional worlds.
Wow, I'm letting that soak in. That
I
is
feel
so,
that.
I've actually experienced that recently. I was in a ballroom with 1,800 people who had their hearts open. Ooh, it's making me want to cry, remembering the feeling. It was a frequency. And to hear even men 18 up to 80 years old weeping as they got back in touch with that heart light, it makes me realize that this is the most important message. Right?
Listen, when you talk about the weeping, I have to tell you this. Zazar calls that the weeping from the heart, love, or heart light, producing golden tears. And he said, literally, when the heart produces those kinds of tears, what comes out is water that's infused with golden light. And that golden light, when it pours out of your eyes from the heart, now can start emanating with those that are near you and those that are far. It's like the heart produces these little etheric enzymes of love, and it often comes out the tears, which then bursts forth and showers the world with this okayness about heart opening.
And it just makes you want to stay in that vibration, right? But yet in today's world, look at the push pull. We're just in the mix of it. It's like a washing machine that's just kind of like we try to stay in our high frequency and boom, a spinner cycle comes on, or just the chaos of the jumbling of the laundry inside it. As things are coming up to be purged, it can be overwhelming. How do you or Zazar, how does Zazar recommend that we get along in these times? Because the solution seems rather simple, but it's not always so easy.
Oh, it's not easy. And remember, we're seeing all this chaos because dualities are hitting each other, all the polarizations. It looks like chaos because it has to. It's breaking apart. But here's what I know Zazar would say, and he certainly is willing to come out. But in that washing machine, so you go, and when people come to retreats and they're in this light and they don't want to leave, and they feel something they've never felt before, and they know it's the truth about them, and they go back home and they get in that washing machine. But what Zazar says is this: every time you lend yourself to these opportunities, find communities that share this desire. When you come back, you're like a new washing tab of soap that goes in the washing machine, and it cleans the debris of your life a little bit more every time. So eventually, there won't be a need to put the dirty laundry in that all that motion, because there will be less and less of it. But it is one of these things, you hit a plateau, and you have to absorb that light into your world. And each time, though, you don't fall all the way back down. Each time you move up into the light, you carry more with you, and the light is so spectacular. Listen to this: that it becomes a dissolver or a laundry tap. So that it's not just about people going into therapy and people having all these different solutions. It's as you gather the light, and Zazar is so good at telling this, but it 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 is so powerful now that it comes into you and starts dissolving ailments, starts dissolving the lower debris that catches you every time. So as it dissolves it, each time you move into the light, there's less debris to catch you, because the light, there's nothing more powerful. And all of the things coming into our planet now from the cosmos and the universe, it's such powerful light. And we're learning how to digest it, become it, and allow it to move through us in a way that we've never, ever had as a human race. And I know this is true. I've experienced it. I've seen it. I've been up on Zazar's craft. I watch the human race. I watch the lights come on our planet, Lauren, of people moving into this light. And it's extraordinary. You don't see this on the news.
No, and I come from the news. If it bleeds, it leads. And so if it's light, it's right in my book. And so I am holding out for stories like this. That's why we have a channel like this, so that we can bring this information to light, right?
It's so
So,
important what you do.
and so, all right, so holding this light, and so now I know why I cry at the drop of a hat. It's golden tears that are coming out, and I'm not gonna shove those back in. I'm just gonna let them flow, so all of us can let them flow. Um, but then what we're learning, what quantum science is reflecting, we're going to bring in Zazar in a moment, but what quantum science is quantum physics, quantum science is revealing is that feelings create chemicals. Feelings create energies, chemicals in our body. So they're actually proving what you just said, that the light is a healer when we go for that love, the heart. And that is so beautiful. And, there's Heart Math that's been around. They've been at the forefront since the 90s of this. And That's so beautiful what they say, but it really is the sacred technology of the human body. And don't you think it's crazy that it's just been stifled from us? I mean, we have the Nag Hammadis revealed from the caves that show how we were part of this, and this was removed from our field because they don't want us to realize that our bodies are so powerful, that the kingdom of heaven is truly within us. Isn't that amazing?
Well, it's absolutely true. It's within us, we can access it, and when we do, we will be the co-creators of it on the new earth, period.
So then that gives us a roadmap. First, we have to awaken the heart, I would say, heal up some trauma, discover our gifts, and create new earth. Yeah. All right, that's it. So let's hear from Zazar. We are interested in, okay, we're going to do it. I just want to give you a few points to discuss because I'm sensing the collective. All right, let's look into the collective. Right now, oh my goodness, there's so much fear. There's uncertainty. Prices are up. It does seem like chaos. People in their own hearts know the way, but others may not, and because they may not know the way, they're acting out, I would say. What is the message for us on our journey? What is the best way each of us can show up?
First of all, I have to say to you, Lauren, don't you dare not have your tears be out, because I can see your heart. You have a marvelous heart. It is surrounded by an aura of light showering. And when you cry, you help save the world. Your science someday will show this. As the heart becomes more lubricated and fluid and the tears flow and they amplify all those around them to feel the heart, to move into the heart chakra and begin to dissolve that which has separated the heart. So your tears, I just have to say to you, my dear, are so beautiful. Now you say what it is. Look, the world is in chaos. Why? Because everybody has been so focused on the world, they have lost the truth of who they really are. And they look to the world to say what they are. But, you know, hopefully the crazier your world is to look at, the more people will stop looking at the world to say who they are because they are in misery. They will stop looking out there because it is not so pleasant anymore and it hurts. And when they do that, they begin to focus more on their insides because there is nothing in your 3D world that will solve your problems. It's too late for that. This is good news because it is time for humans to realize their potential needs to turn into action. And the truth is, and people will say, oh, don't talk about this love. And I say that is a program that keeps you suppressed. Yes, talk about your heart. But first humans must go inside to dissolve that which keeps them from knowing the truth of their light. You have a magnificent light field, and that light field is connected to everything in the universe. It has been cut off. You have been separated. You don't even realize how many of us are out there, especially now surrounding your earth. There is so much light coming in to stimulate what? The light within you, for you to become highly conscious of how beautiful you are. Most of you have been told you are not beautiful, not intelligent enough, not enough. And I am here to say you are enough. You always have been enough. It is time to get that not enough away, to go inside and realize you are so beautiful. Why do you think so many galactics and celestials are surrounding Earth right now? Because we know it is the birthing of the new human, the beautiful human, the magnificent human. And as you move inside to realize you have this light, it will begin to point you in directions of living higher vibrations, to eat foods that are higher vibrational, to help your heart be in higher vibrations, to help your mind field not be in the crazy Looney Tunes of all your electronics, I am telling you, but to find a stillness point in the mind field. So new circuitry can begin to expand. You see what's happening as your light rises. It produces landing fields for all the light that is coming into your planet. Your planet is perfectly located now for the what we call the white diamond light to come in from the center of your galaxy. And it is coming in. It is like your 3-eye atlas came by and it was producing so many light codes of remembrances for the human race. So much is happening so that you will wake up to the truth and the magnificence of who you are. Then, when you begin to gather people, and you said it, you were in a ballroom. By the way, I love ballrooms. I love to dance. Let's go dancing tonight, Lorraine, to do the waltz of the universe. Because when you gather humans who are open-hearted, who are in a different frequency, a higher vibration, this is your science someday will show this. When your heart is in coherence and you gather with people to produce a coherent consciousness, unified state, you will realize how powerful humans are. Because you will produce a corridor that will open the 0-point energy corridor, this place beyond the quantum that has energy you cannot believe. And you will open this in order to get the tremendous light coming through to produce your ability to co-create anything you can imagine. This is what other species have gone through. This is called ascension, where you go from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension, where humans live in harmony and coherence together, where you begin to put your mind fields together if you are a scientist group, and you will invent new science. Artists will invent new art, so you look at a painting and immediately your whole body is healed. You're going to bring in new sounding, new music. All of this comes from the upper atmosphere of vibrations. So as you get rid of the pull of the gravity, of the debris and the chaos, and as you begin to take responsibility for your own buoyancy, oh boy, are you in for a treat, because as you rise, you will, in that rising, take in more of this light. And this light, combined with your light, produces an alchemy that will, in and of itself, dissolve more debris within you, heal you, move you to higher levels of consciousness, in which you will co-create the new world that is indeed coming and is already happening on your earth. You may not know this, but let me tell you, there are so many humans waking up. When I come to do a retreat with the humans, every month there is a jump that is so big, it even surprises me, Lauren. From a year ago, what a group could do then in creating this consciousness to what a group can do now. They can do timeline jumps where they are in a higher ascended time. All kinds of new things are coming into your planet. But the most important thing is that humans have to dissolve these debris layers, dissolve the separation in order for their light to rise. When their light rises, they produce a consciousness field in which this higher light can come in which the galactics can walk on Earth once again. People often say, when will the galactics come and walk on Earth? Well, they already are. But it is still true that so many don't believe in this. It is up to humans to understand how incredible they are in creating a heart coherent field of vibration in which all these new realities from the higher dimensions can be felt, can be known, can be thought, can be created. And that includes walking hand in hand with your galactic neighbors. So, Lauren, you know, it doesn't look this way when you look out the picture window of the news, but I am telling you, it is happening. There is nothing that can stop this from happening. And humans are just beginning to realize the power of their heart consciousness to lead the way to a new civilization. As you know, many of civilizations in the past that were advanced eventually dissolved. Humans are on the cusp of creating a civilization on Earth of humans that will never dissolve again, but will only continue on the high ascension ladder. So those are a few words I have to say to you. And what do you have to say in terms of any inquiries?
I am so inspired. This is buoyant. Thank you for your buoyancy, helping us remember our buoyancy, because when we embody it, that is the key. So we feel, I mean, it feels so close. It feels so close. Um, let's talk about, I want to take you to the pineal gland. I don't know if you've ever spoken much about this, but I am curious. This is this is a transducer. It allows us to receive information and to send information. And many of us are working on activating that pineal gland. Why is this such an important focus, or what is your take on it? Is the heart how does it relate to the heart and an open heart? Like, would the pineal gland open just in as a coordinate within an open heart, or is there more work to do? We just would love you to share more on the pineal gland.
So let me tell you this. It is like this. The pineal gland has access to the corridors to all realities.
Mhm.
In the pineal gland, and we'll talk in a moment about the opening of it, you will be able to no longer be separated from all that is. It can see into all the corridors. It can open it. It has keys, so to speak. Now, how is this related to the heart? Well, the pineal gland opens the corridors for all that comes in for the heart to know how to utilize. It is the heart that becomes, you might say, the new human mind. It is the heart that is the discerner. It is the heart that intuits. But if the heart is closed off from all these realities that exist all around you, and oh, they are so luscious, but then the heart does not have the access to the wisdom and the information in order to know how to utilize it to create this new dawn. What the pineal gland does in the human, and it is in other species as well, it begins to open up, and you have been deprived of this because much of your pineal glands around the world, it's like they are frozen in ice. This light that is coming into the planet, if you can vision it, you have also been cut off to your transcendence. The crown chakra, there is a cutoff here, and so what happens is the pineal gland is also cut off from all that is. When you begin to open up that which is above you through the vibrations of living in a higher way, more buoyant way, think of it this way. The buoyancy of living a high vibrational life, it is not that hard to do, and yet it is very hard on earth right now to do, but through what you feed your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, as you increase your vibrations, it moves and begins to dissolve all of these things that have blocked your corridor of transcendence. When you open the corridor of transcendence to all that is, a light, there is light coming in through this planet, but it stops. The light can begin to move through this corridor, coming into your pineal gland. You might say, bringing it back to its fluid state, its rightful fluid state, instead of the frozen state. As the pineal gland opens its fluid state, it accesses even things in the brain your scientists don't understand yet, and the third eye. So the third eye begins to be a projector that can begin to open to many, many corridors of things like bilocation, telepathy, prescience, corridors to higher dimensions, corridors to understanding your galactic incarnations that are relevant to this life, corridors to your galactic families that of course you have had. So all of these things have been cut off. The pineal gland can be like a master computer opening, but of the light, shining the light in a way for you to open up all of these different corridors. And then what happens is the heart is sitting there going, ah, all of this beautiful wisdom. I know how to utilize this wisdom to bring it into the human world, to make the new dawn, to make the new civilization that will be forever on earth now.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is sacred technology within us, and it is putting all of us on that personal mission. So we receive the beautiful light, and the heart puts it into creation in our world.
Oh, you
I
said that
love
so
that.
well. I love it. How good you listen. Yes, that is it.
It's so important that we get this, right? Um, and again, the feelings. Feelings. Talk to us, please, about the chemicals of feelings, of emotions, and the negative emotions, and then the buoyant, lively, thrively emotions, and why that's so important for us, because we can each shift those emotions. We know how to do it, but this is going to make it very clear as to why it is so important to shift those feelings.
So you speak about this, and one thing I must say is one of the most important laws, besides waste not an opportunity, but another law of the universe is a law of resonance. When you are in negative feelings, they produce body vibrations, thinking vibrations, heart vibrations, and those vibrations affect all of your quadrants, body, heart, mind, and soul. And so when you are in anger or you are in hatred, that is a very dense vibration. It is a real phenomena of being a lower frequency. Those lower frequencies move out into the world, and because of the law of resonance, they attract and magnify those same frequencies back. That's why you will see so much fighting and chaos going on in your world. People in lower vibrations tend to attract other people in lower vibrations. It's just the law of resonance, because you have all these feelings and you're mad at the world, and so you seek others that either share that or the opposite of that to keep dualities going. When you move to higher vibrations of peace within yourself, you begin to emanate that what you would call emotional state of peace actually produces vibrations that move out of you, and they seek out similar vibrations. So when you are in high peace, You want to find high peace. So you might find yourself walking in nature a lot more often. When you are in joy, you might want to walk in nature and feel the joy, because nature, your earth's nature, is already ascending in higher vibrations. And she knows when you walk through her that what you need in terms of aligning in a higher way. And so every bird that you hear and the wind that kisses your cheek, all of this begins to align you into a higher resonant vibration with nature. Why it's so important to spend as much time as you can in your beautiful nature. And so she is speaking with you and whispering to you. When you are vibrating in the lower range, you will not hear nature. Oh, you might be attracted to look at all the hurricane damage because it resonates lower. So these emotions of the heart are vibratory generators that move in your body, first of all, creating either in your brain a fear and anxiety chemical that goes through your body and whacks it up. It makes it not quite right, versus knowing that when you are in a peaceful meditative state, you actually are stimulating the front part of your brain. And that front part of your brain, and soon your scientists will know this, is what's so important in creating what we call the fifth dimensional mind field, which is just outside of your brain. And so this has such ramification when you are in a heart coherent, harmonious, higher vibration. It moves through your body, moves through your brain, and it begins to move and create circuitry in the mind field and the larger heart field. And that creates new vibrations of a healing kind that move back into your body for your body to receive the most magnificent healing you could have, which is the coherency of higher vibrational, heart-induced frequencies. And that's why it is so important. If you are trying to move into love, peace, and unity, and you hear people saying, oh, yeah, right, that's not going to solve the problems, I will say to you, that is the old paradigm, the old matrix trying to suppress the most powerful thing people have. And that is your heart generator. And when you begin to generate this, you will also attract the higher light vibrations. This is all light technology that you will be learning about. So when your heart is in a higher vibration, it resonates with the higher vibrations of the universe, with Source itself, opening that grand corridor for Source light to sing to your heart in harmony. This is all right at the fingertips of the heart.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that wisdom. We have our marching orders, and I am so, let's not even call it marching orders. We have our light, love and light anchoring plan. And now we know why it's so important. I have a final question for you. I am sensing our audience wants to know two things on this final question, two phases. How can each person connect more to the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, to their guides, you, and how would we know if we were on a teaching craft as children?
So when Marilyn told her story, if you felt a vibration, a knowing, something familiar, if you felt a tingling, if your body vibrated, if your heart wanted to cry, if your mind was still. These are all signs that you are receiving information from somebody else that begins to click with your remembrances that have been hidden from you. I would say this. I feel like many, many, many humans have had contact and have been on crafts, and it has been a beautiful experience. But when you come back to your human self, it is easier to forget because it's hard to know how to incorporate it in a human life. So watch your dreams at night. After you hear this, watch your dreams at night. If you want, you can ask me to come to your dreams. I will come. The galactics are waiting for invitations. You have free will. It is important to be respected. You want to connect with your galactic ones? You put out the signal loud and clear that you are ready. Because the last thing we want to do is to appear on earth to cause incoherency, to cause disharmony. And so you make sure you are ready to connect to these beautiful galactic guides that, by the way, are right with you. It is a matter of increasing your vibrational field so they can dance in that ballroom of a field with you in the highest way, in the goodest way for you. And again, ask for them to come in your dreams, because that is when your human consciousness is asleep, but your higher consciousness tends to be awake. And so you can create a corridor before you go to bed and say, I would like tonight to dance with the frequencies, not only of my higher self, but I would like to invite my galactic guides and guardians and Zazar, and I will come. It is so exciting to have an invite from you. And we are ready. We are just waiting for the readiness of a cohesive human heart to say, let's fly together tonight.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, Zazar. I hear everyone preparing to connect with you tonight or whenever they hear this, and remember to invite. That is the word, invite. And so they're waiting, the galactics are waiting for the invitation. Thank you so much for this. I just want to give you a moment for an overview of where we are, as this is our last question, where we are, like a report card.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Every single retreat or event we do, and there are many people doing events across the planet to raise consciousness of the heart. But what we see is the light is gaining speed faster than we knew. And we are excited. I have studied humans for 150 years. And it is amazing as the group of human consciousness, as the cohesiveness of a unity community of humans, it is increasing so fast. And what it does is it opens a light grid that is now lit up all around your planet. So even those who are still asleep, they are being showered with human light consciousness, human heart consciousness. It has to happen human to human. And I want to tell you, it is. Humans are waking up, and every time they wake up, every time the heart cries, there are these etheric enzymes that are going out in the light grid, and they are showering others, and they are waking up. It is happening, and soon you will have some news stations like yours reporting more and more light that is opening. I say to people, be careful how much news you watch, because tune in to the cosmic web news, which is the news that your humans who are awakening are announcing to the world. know how to feel these new vibrational signatures of how the human heart is soaring. Find communities that share this, because the community that becomes united in the heart is so powerful to totally transform your planet. And it is happening.
Thank you, Zazar. We love you, and you have elevated our hearts today.
Well, let me tell you something, Lauren. We have a phrase, and I want to say it to you. I love you, I like you, and I light you up. We always say this at our retreats, but I had to say it to you because one last thing about you, Lauren. I see your energetic field. It is so beautiful. It is like during this time with you, your field is this light, but it's not just this light. It's shooting these light bursts that almost look like starbursts all around you. I see it shooting starbursts, starbursts, starbursts out into your planetary world. And so I thank you for being who you are, because every time I get to see a human who is lit up like you are, I take such hope that things are going at an accelerated rate, and soon everybody will be filled with those starbursts that you have coming from your beautiful heart.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's those golden tears of light. Thank you, Zazar.
Wow.
So much love there.
Woo! Boy, did I feel his love for you. Oh my God, I just love it when that happens. He felt you so much, Lauren, and he feels you get it. You're one of the ones, and it was just such a pleasure to be with you. And I love it when Cesar dances. He was dancing with you in the grand ballroom the whole time.
I'm gonna grab my baton and I'm gonna dance tonight.
Me too.
That's what I do. I dance when no one's watching and I have a baton and all that. Okay. Wow. All right. Again, I these conversations light me up. They lift me up, and I know they do that to our audience as well. We are such that community, and as the world changes, let's just talk about that for a moment. And these are tears of great joy and love, but as the world changes, we know we can't just keep doing the things the way we used to do it. And that's why we're changing things here at New Earth One. We are constantly monitoring the collective and like, wow, what do we need? How do we show up and do things differently? And that's what we work on. That's what keeps us going. We do have a big job to do. It's an important job. And I do sense what's going on in the collective, in the news. Well, the news, who even knows what's real anymore?
Right.
And I'm a journalist, right? And so, but you can see these events of light. And I love the cosmic web news. We will have that someday, and yeah, that's going to be great. But as we look at our world, don't you think the acceleration is being caused by people's exhaustion and that they're being pressure cooked into a choice, love or fear, and that choice is only within us. The onus is on us. Nobody outside of us can make that choice for us. That's to me what is truly happening on a collective level. And so the news is only showing the people powers that want to cling into it and keep that matrix going. Whereas most of us, like I've made a trip back to the States and I didn't see all the chaos that I see in the news. I saw people happy. I saw people not even paying attention to the news. So that's my perspective. Do you agree with that?
Listen, when people stop looking outside for
Mm.
the solutions, and you hit upon that, and start realizing and taking back their power and sovereignty to know their magnificence. And then, you know what's accelerating things? I do believe this, and I've seen it. I understand light technology that Zazar is teaching. But when we get in a communal situation and when you have a collective of people that are watching, that collective, there's something that happens when we are in a collective conscious state together that creates a field that brings an even more powerful light from the cosmos. It does a figure eight and it gives us such fuel. There is no way the darkness can ever be as powerful. That coherent, it's just like our bodies. When our hearts are coherent, our bodies get into a coherent state of wellness. When we as a species get into coherence in a higher vibration, that brings in a higher vibration from the body of the universe. And what we can create with that kind of higher frequency, we have not even begun to touch. But that's why it's accelerating. And there is nothing in this debris field that can compete because the debris field is incoherent, disharmonious, it doesn't resonate. And most people now are realizing the solutions aren't out there. The solutions are in the place we've been deprived of. And people now are using their frustrations to go inside and do the work of uncovering their light. And Zazar always used to teach me, he was like, why is it so hard for humans to realize how beautiful they are? And I said, I know, isn't that one of the paradoxes of our times? But when we start realizing our beauty, we want to give it, we want to embrace, we want to love, and that's powerful. And it's a lot more powerful than people have a clue about. So I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. I see it all the time, and it's happening quicker and quicker.
Everyone take a breath with that. Ah, and feel relaxed in the heart and joy in the heart as well. You have helped us, Marilyn and Zazar, feel the heart coherence. This conversation brings us into heart coherence. And I love it. In the final moments here, I wanna look into the rest of the summer. There's energy rising. July, 7/7, July. What can you share about the energy rising? Any information on that?
The energy rising is going to produce timeline jumps, and the timeline jumps are going to accelerate. So we're all on an ascension ladder individually, but we're also on an ascension ladder as a human race. As we gather this energy, 7/7 is great, 8/8 is great. As we're approaching these times, there is more manifestation fuel on earth than ever before. By the way, the ancient civilizations that were advanced are also, they knew about this time. There are light codes being released by these great monuments, the pyramids, the Stonehenge, that are also filled with wisdom that we're going to be able to download. This summer, I say to people, there is so much manifestation energy available now. But manifest your own gifts. Manifest your own remembrances of what you have come into this world to do. There is not one person who didn't come into this world with these unbelievable high vibrational gifts, whatever they are, whether they're art, science, math, music, healing. Everyone is housing a gift that has been hidden from them. You know, when the teacher said you're no good at art, but really you're going to be this new reality artist that the minute you look at it, you're going to be healed. This is the new coming in. So honor that world within. Dissolve the veils. Bring up your light. Live higher vibrationally, and allow those gifts to rise up so that you can be one of the ones that is the new co-creator of our new earth. And it's happening.
Thank you, Marilyn Gewacke. This is beautiful. And Zazar, over your shoulder there, I can see him looking through your eyes right now. So beautiful. Ah,
He
thank you
does
so
look through
much.
my eyes. Yes. You're amazing, Laura. And I want to just say this last thing to you. Zazar always tells me, waste not. So I'm sitting across from somebody on Zoom who has incredible light. Really know how magnificent you are because I see it, Zazar sees it, and it is very specific magnificence. You have a gift of telling the truth of what's happening on this planet. Your heart speaks the music of the higher spheres. I just love you and I just met you.
And if we were in person, we'd be giving each other a big heart hug, a big hug. And everyone in this audience, let's all create that heart hug in our collective. Wow, I can feel that. You know who you are.
Yes.
Ah, and someday we will be in person. We will. Oh, okay, forgive me. It's a big weeping. But this gives us direction moving forward.
By the way, there is no forgiving, for when you are that, there you are giving for, not for.
Okay.
I just have to tell you, you are so led by the heart, and all your viewers know this about you, I'm sure. But Lauren is the new human.
Oh, okay. That's what my problem is. No, okay, that's all in a joke. Okay, very, very good. I just say that because we can all feel the collective and some of us, me included, sometimes just want to turn out the lights, throw in the towel, but we won't do that because we know, wow, I'm getting really emotional because we know the beauty behind all of it. And so that is what we remember. Remember that it is within us and nothing that happens in our world can take us from that. I think that's the biggest lesson for today and the heart coherence and our power to create that new earth because of the love in our heart. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Marilyn Gewacke and Zazar.
And you know what? For all your viewers who sometimes want to throw in the towel, remember these faces here today. I will remember, Lauren, yours. And when I get in those places where I want to throw in the towel, I'll bring your beautiful beingness into my consciousness and I'll go, you are the reason. And then I will be the reason to continue this path because there isn't a choice now.
Okay, so beautiful. We thank you again, Marilyn and Zazar, and thank you every heart, beautiful heart who is joining us in this program, wherever and whenever you watch it. You're in this energy field too, and we certainly hope that you can feel it and that you have found an upliftment and that you are remembering who you are
Woo!
today. Blessings. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.